Good morning, students. This is Sridevi. In our previous session, we will discuss about Unit 2 concepts. In this video, we are going to learn some more topics in Unit 2 in distributed systems. And the topics are Introduction to Remote Processor Call RPC, Transparency of RPC, and Implementation of RPC models. First, let us see the introduction to Remote Processor Call and its models. What is remote processor call? A remote processor call is a function which is existed in the remote location or in the remote computers. Is called a remote processor call. A remote processor call is an inter-process communication technique that is used for client-based application. It is also known as a subroutine call or a function call. Subroutine. Subroutine is nothing but a procedure. Subroutine means blocks of code that may be repeatedly called by the main program to serve a given function. Subroutines are executed during a program at runtime. A remote procedure call is a protocol that one program can use to request a service from a program located in another computer on a network without having to understand the network details. A procedure call is also sometimes known as a function call or a subroutine call. In RPC uses the client-server model. The requesting program is a client and the service providing program is the server. Like a regular or local procedure call, an RPC is a synchronized operation requiring the requesting program to be suspended until the results of the remote procedure are returned. A client has a request message that the RPC translates and sends to the server. This request may be procedure or a function call to a remote server. When the server receives the request, it sends a required response back to the client. The client is blocked when the server is processing the call and only resume execution after the server is finished. In this diagram, the sequence of events in a remote procedure call. Procedure means which is nothing but a function in a C language with the same program. In this diagram, the demonstrates that is as follows. This is the client system and another one is the server system. The client stub is called by the client. The client stub makes a system call to send a message to the server and puts the parameters in the message. The message is sent from the client to the server by the client's operating system. The message is passed to the server stub by the server operating system. The parameters are removed from the message by the server stub. Then the server procedure is called by the server stub. Advantages of remote procedure call. Some of the advantages in RPC are it supports process-oriented and thread-oriented models. The internal message passing mechanisms of RPC is hidden from the user. The effect to rewrite and redevelop the code is minimum in remote procedure calls. Remote procedure calls can be used in distributed environment as well as the local environment. Many of the protocol layers are omitted by RPC to improve performance. Some more disadvantages of remote procedure call. The remote procedure call is a concept that can be implemented in different ways. It is not a standard. There is no flexibility in RPC for hardware architecture. It is only interaction based. There is an increase in cost because of remote procedure call. These are the disadvantages of RPC. In this RPC model, client server system, client system and another one is the server system. The client system is written particular calling statement is called calling procedure and this calling procedure sending request to server system. The caller or client process sends a call request, sends to server message to the caller or server process, and then waits for a reply. The request message consists of remote procedure parameters. It is based on extending the notation of conventional or local procedure calling, so that the called procedure need not exist in the same address space as the calling procedure. The two processes may be on the same system, or they may be on different system with a network connecting them. By using RPC, programmers of distributed applications avoid the details of the interface with the network. On receiving the message, the server process executes the procedure and returns a result in a reply message that is sent to client process. When the client receives the reply message, the result of the execution is extracted and the caller's execution is resumed. In short, the server waits for a request message to process the procedure parameters, compute the result, and send a reply to the client and wait for the next message. For an example, an implementation may choose to have RPC calls to be asynchronous so that the client may do useful work while waiting for the reply from the server. Another possibility is to have the server create a thread to process an incoming request so that the server can be free to receive other requests. This is the RPC model. Another concept is transparency of RPC. Transparency means is one in which the local and remote procedure calls are indistinguishable to programmers. The main issues in designing an RPC facility is its transparency property. In this transparency are of two types: syntactic transparency and semantic transparency. In the syntactic transparency, a remote procedure and a local procedure call should be having the same syntax. And semantic transparency. Semantic means the meaning of paragraphs, sentences, and words is called semantic. The semantics of a remote procedure call and local procedure call are identical. Achieving syntactic transparency is not an issue, but semantic transparency is difficult due to some differences between remote procedure calls and local procedure calls. This is the client system and this is the server system. In this client system, written particular calling statement is called calling procedure, and calling procedure sends message to the server system. Send request to server system. The basic idea of RPC is to make a remote procedure call look transparent. The calling procedure should not be aware that the call procedure is executing on a different machines. In RPC achieves transparency in an analogous way. When read is a remote procedure, a different version of read called client stub is put in the library. It is also called using the calling sequence. The parameters are packed into a message and sent to the server when the message arrives at the server. The server's operating system passes it to server stub when calls, receive, and blocks incoming messages. The server unpacks parameters and calls server procedure and performs its work and returns the result to caller in the usual way of packing the result and sending into the client stub. When the client receives the message from the server and the operating system of client sees that is addressed to client process. When the caller gets control the call to read, or it knows that its data are available. It has no idea that the work was done remotely instead of the local operating system. In this way, transparency is achieved. That is called transparency of RPC model. In this video, last topic is explain the implementation of the RPC model. In this remote procedure call is a protocol that one program can use to request a service from a program located in another computer on a network without having to understand the network details. A procedure call is also sometimes known as the function call or a subroutine call. In RPC uses the client-server model. In this diagram, one is the client system and another one is the server system. In this process, client system sends remote procedure call to the server system, and the server system call local procedure and return results. After that, the process server system return from call, and during this process client system wait for reply. It includes 5 different types of categories. These categories are client, client stub, RPC runtime, server stub, and the server. In this procedure call, the caller places arguments to the procedure which transfers the control to instructions consisting of the body. This body is executed in a new environment which has several copies of the arguments. Once the execution is over, the control is returned to the calling point and a result is returned. A call is made to a procedure that is not the address spaces of the calling procedures. This call can be on same or different machines. Since caller and callee have different address spaces, the remote procedure cannot access data variables of the client's environment. During to this, RPC uses message passing scheme to exchange information between the caller and callee. First category is the client. A client is a user process which initiates a RPC. The client makes a normal call that will invoke a corresponding procedure in the client stub. It is a user process which initiates a remote procedure call. In this, client makes a perfectly normal call that invokes a corresponding procedure in the client stub. And another one is the client stub. On receipt of a request, it packs an environment into a message and asks to RPC runtime to send. On receipt of a result, it unpacks the result and passes it into client. This is the client stub. And another one is the RPC runtime. It handles transmission of message between client and server. It exits both sides. Okay. Transmission of a message between client and server machine across the network is handled by RPC runtime. It performs transmission, acknowledgement, routing and encryption. In RPC runtime, on client machine receives messages containing result of procedure execution from server and send it client stub, as well as the RPC runtime on server machine receives the same message from server stub and passes it to the client machine. In this RPC runtime also receives call request messages from client machine and sends it to server stub. Another one is the server stub. Server stub is similar to client stub and is responsible for the following tasks. One receipt of a calling request message from the local RPC runtime. It unpacks and makes a normal call to invoke the required procedure in the server. And another task is on receipt of the result of procedure execution from the server. It unpacks the result into a message and then asks the local RPC runtime to send it to the client stub. Another one is the server. It executes an appropriate procedure and returns the result from a server stub. When a call request is received from the server stub, the server executes the required procedure and returns the result to the server stub. This is the RPC model, 5 categories, and implementation of a RPC mechanism. The client calls a local procedure called the client stub. Network messages are sent by the client stub to the remote procedure via system call to the local kernel using sockets interfaces. Network messages are transferred by the kernel to the remote system via same protocol that may be either connectionless or connection oriented. A server stub, sometimes called the skeleton, receives the messages on the server. It unmarshals the arguments for the messages. The server stub calls the server function, passing it the arguments that is received from the client. When the server function is finished, it returns to the server stub when it returns values. The server stub converts the return values, if necessary, and marshals them into one or more network messages to send into the client stub. Messages get sent back across the network to the client stub. This client stub reads the messages from the local kernel. The client stub then returns the result to the client function, converting them from the network representation to a local one if necessary. This is the implementation of a RPC model. In this session, we know about the introduction to RPC model, transparency of RPC, and implementation of RPC model. In another session, we will discuss some more topics in Unit 2 about DS. Thank you.